We have discussed this period of incomplete or shortened time before, expressed in terms of the space of time between the failed attempt to redeem Zion and the eventual redemption of Zion by the Lord with power. The Lord used a little season, meaning a half period. This half period or little season of chastisement continues to this day. The half hour immediately after the opening of the seventh seal is clearly defined. It is a time when there will be silence in heaven. Again, the scholars struggle to understand what is meant here. What exactly does it mean that there will be silence in heaven? Elder Pratt, in his same sermon, at least makes some reasonable attempt at an explanation. This is all true, but he doesn't explain why there would be angels flying, trumpets sounding, or any noise in heaven in the first place. Immediately after the half hour of heavenly silence, John describes 7 angels with 7 trumpets. Each of these angels sounded in turn, announcing a heavenly catastrophe. Furthermore, there were voices and thunderings. There was also an angel flying through the midst of heaven, saying with a loud voice, "Woe, woe, woe to the inhabitants of the earth." But why the sudden change from silence in heaven to a multitude of sounds filling the heaven? The answer lies in the event announced by the sounding of the third angel. A star, meaning a planet named Wormwood, fell from heaven. From the point that Wormwood, which we have identified as the returning planet Mars, John's revelation is filled with sounds in the heavens, such as trumpets, thunderings, loud voices, the voice of roaring lions and of many waters, pained cries, blasphemies, harps, singing, and so forth. All these sounds arose with the arrival of the planets Mars, then Venus, and lastly Saturn. Mankind has heard these sounds before at the Exodus, when in the heavens at Mount Sinai there were loud thunderings and trumpets, frightening the entire camp of Israel. The cause of these tremendous sounds was the electrical interaction of the Earth with the planets above, Mars and Venus, as we have explained previously.
At this juncture, we must point out that the shouting coming from heaven wasn't necessarily the result of an explosive event like the shout at creation. Venus and Mars were very active electrically, and the radiation from this activity would have formed a multitude of sounds on Earth. Generally speaking, if the scriptures talk about voices or talking from heaven, then there must be a planet or planets close to the Earth and electrically connected.
When the planets return, there will be the same sounds in heaven, and for the same reason. Their return will end the current half hour of silence in heaven. This half hour of silence in heaven does not proclude tumult upon the earth. John did not say that there would be silence or peace on earth. As prophesied by the Savior himself, there will be wars and rumors of wars. Nation shall rise against nation and kingdom against kingdom. It is during this current space of silence in heaven that the planets must be called back to their ancient places above Earth's North Pole. They must be called back by those who have the authority and power to do so. That is, the planets must be commanded by those who hold the specific priesthood keys for this assignment. This begs 2 questions. First, which keys will empower man to command the planets to return? And secondly, who will hold those keys?